Yeah, good afternoon, all. We are going to look into the compression of deep convolutional neural networks for fast and low power mobile applications research paper. And here, mobile devices use powerful CPU and GPU running deeper convolutional neural networks for complex tasks such as ImageNet classification. On mobile applications, it is typically assumed that training is performed on the server and test or inference is executed on the mobile devices. One of the most critical issues in mobile applications of CNNs is that mobile devices have strict constraints in terms of computing power, battery, and memory capacity. To improve test time performance on mobile devices, such redundancy can be removed from the trained networks without noticeable impact on accuracy. Such compressions typically focus on convolution layers since they dominate total computation cost, especially in deep neural networks. Existing methods, though effective in reducing the computation cost of a single convolutional layer, introduce a new challenge called wall network compression, which aims at compressing the entire network. In wall network compression, it is non-trivial to compress wall and deep CNNs for complex tasks such as ImageNet classification. There was a question asking when is it trivial to compress the wall convolutional neural network, when we does not need to reduce the computational cost, performance cost, or when the resources are not limited or task is not very complex. It does not need compressing, so we do not need network compression either. In a research, Shank showed that entire convolutional layers can be accelerated with asymmetric decomposition. And more about asymmetric decomposition will be explained in related work section. In this paper, they presented much simpler but still powerful wall network compression scheme which takes entire convolutional and fully connected layers into account. This one-shot wall network compression is carried under three steps: rank selection, rank selection, low rank tensor decomposition, and fine tuning. And we will describe details of these steps in later sections. Each step of this scheme can be easily implemented using publicly available tools. They used methods described in research paper by Bader for Tucker decomposition and Cafe for fine tuning. They evaluated various compressed CNNs like AlexNet, VGGS, VGG16, and GoogleNet on both Titan X and smartphone. Significant reduction in model size, runtime, and energy consumption are obtained at the cost of small loss in accuracy. By analyzing power consumption over time, they have observed interesting behaviors of one by one convolution, which is the key operation in their compressed model as well as in inception module of GoogleNet. They have carried their related work under two main topics: CNN compression and tensor decomposition. In CNN compression, they have reviewed the researchers carried to compress convolutional layers for the purpose of speed up the execution of CNNs. Singular value decomposition, also known as SVD, is a method suggested by Denton which used to compress fully connected layer without significant loss in the prediction accuracy. But later other researchers introduced better compression methods than singular value decomposition. As an example, vector quantization, circular projection, etc. To speed up the convolution layers, Several methods based on low-rank decomposition of convolution kernel tensor were proposed in many researchers like Denton, but they compress only single or a few layers. In asymmetric decomposition, by Zhang, accelerated the entire convolutional layers. The original D by D convolution is decomposed to D by 1 by D, and 1 by 1 convolution. And other than that, they presented a rank selection method based on PCA accumulated energy and an optimization method which minimizes the reconstruction error of nonlinear responses. Pruning approach by hand reduces the total amount of parameters and operations in the entire network. Pruning-based approaches can give significant reductions in parameter size and computation workload. However, it is challenging to achieve runtime speedup with conventional GPU implementation. FFT method suggested by Matthew is used to speed up the optimization, and Van Hoek did CPU code optimization to speed up the execution of CNNs. And thank you. This will be done by Roshani.
Thank you, Diniti. Let's talk about the tensor decomposition. So what is a tensor? It is a multi-way array of data. For example, vector is a one-way tensor. Matrix is a two-way tensor. In the diagram also, it is clearly seen that 1D tensor is a vector which is of rank 1. 2D tensor is a matrix, also called rank 2, and third one is the 3D or three-way tensor which is of rank 3, and so on. We can have n-way tensor. CAN-DECOMP or Parafac model and Tucker model are two of the most popular tensor decomposition models. In this paper, it has been used Tucker model for whole network compression. In this whole network compression scheme, it applies Tucker2 decomposition from the second convolution layer to the first fully connected layers. For the other layers, it applies Tucker1 decomposition, which is equivalent to SVD, singular value decomposition. Tucker decomposition is a higher order extension of the SVD of matrix. It simultaneously analyzes mod n matricizations of the original tensor and merges them with the core tensor as illustrated in the figure below. So in the figure, top left shows mod 1 matricization, top right shows mod 2 matricization, and bottom left shows mod 3 matricization. They are constructed by concatenation of frontal, horizontal, and vertical slices respectively. Bottom right illustrates a three-way Tucker decomposition. The original tensor X of size I1 by I2 by I3 is decomposed to the product of the core tensor S of size J1 by J2 by J3 and factor matrices A1, A2, and A3. How does this paper differs with the related works above? It is like this. Tucker decomposition is adopted to compress the entire convolutional and fully connected layers. The kernel tensor reconstruction error is minimized instead of nonlinear response. A global analytic solution of VBMF is applied to determine the rank of each layer. And last, a single run of fine-tuning is performed to account for the accumulation of errors. Proposed method. Before going to the details, let's get an overall idea about one-shot whole network compression scheme. This figure illustrates the one-shot whole network compression scheme, which consists of 3 steps: rank selection, Tucker decomposition, and fine-tuning. In the first step, it analyzes principal subspace of mode 3 and mode 4 matricization of each layer's kernel tensor with global analytic variational Bayesian matrix factorization. Then Tucker decomposition is applied on each layer's kernel tensor with previously determined rank. Finally, the entire network is fine-tuned with stand backpropagation. First, we'll see Tucker decomposition on kernel tensor. so that the rank selection will be explained in later slides. First, convolutional kernel tensor. In CNNs, the convolutional operation maps an input, which is also known as source tensor X, into output or target tensor Y of using this using this linear mapping equation. Then the Tucker decomposition. The top equation shows the rank R1, R2, R3, R4 Tucker decomposition of four-way kernel tensor K. Here K dash is a cotensor of size R1 by R2 by R3 by R4, and U1, U2, U3 and U4 are factor matrices of sizes D by R1, D by R2, S by R3 and T by R4 respectively. In the Tucker decomposition, every mode does not have to be decomposed. For example, mode 1 and mode 2, which are associated with spatial dimensions, are not decomposed because they are already quite small. Under this variant called Tucker-2 decomposition, the kernel tensor is decomposed to the bottom equation. After substituting equation 2 into equation 1, performing rearrangements and grouping summations, the following three consecutive expressions for the approximate evaluation of the convolution are obtained. Here Z and Z dash are intermediate tensors. This figure shows Tucker-2 decompositions for speeding up a convolution. Each transparent box corresponds to three-way tensor X, Z dash, and Y as in the equations 3 to 5, with two frontal sides corresponding to spatial dimensions. Arrows represent linear mappings and illustrate how scalar values on the right are computed. Yellow tube, red tube, and blue tube correspond to 1 by 1, D by D and 1 by 1 convolution in 3, 4, and 5 equations mentioned previously. As illustrated in the figure, computing Z from X in equation 3 as well as Y from Z dash in equation 5 is 1 by 1 convolutions that essentially perform pixel-wise linear recombination of input maps. It is extensively used in Inception module of GoogleNet. Then the complexity analysis. With Tucker decomposition, compression ratio M and speed up ratio E are given by this equation. They are bounded by ST divided by R3 into R4. Tucker versus CP. CP decomposition is applied to approximate the convolution layers of CNNs for ImageNet, which consist of 8 layers. It cannot be applied to the entire layers, and low rank CP decomposition is reported to be unstable. In contrast, Tucker decomposition can be applied to the entire layers of AlexNet, VGGS, GoogleNet, and VGG16 successfully. I invite Dulanjali to continue.
Thank you, Shani. Before we do the Tucker decomposition, our first step was to do the rank selection. So what is meant by the rank of a CNN? It is the key parameter that determines the complexity of each convolutional layer, and it is directly related to memory usage, runtime, energy consumption, and the accuracy of CNN. So this was the first step of the proposed methodology of compressing the CNN, rank selection with Global Analytic VBMF. VBMF means Variational Bayesian Matrix Factorization. It is publicly available as a MATLAB function. It finds the rank of a matrix instead of a tensor. Therefore, before applying VBMF, tensors are converted to matrices, and that process is called matricization. It was applied on mode 3 and mode 4 matricizations and determined ranks as R3 and R4. This shows how the four-way tensor matricization into mode 3 and mode 4. This was also described earlier for a three-way tensor. Here, rank R1, R2, R3, and R4, which are the ranks of mode 1, 2, 3, and 4 matrix form, the ranking method of matrixization is equal to the ranking method of a matrix. In a previous slide, I explained that VBMF selected the ranks R3 and R4. So as an example, let's consider a CNN named A. In its convolutional layer 1, it has the R1, R2, R3, and R4 ranks as shown in the diagram. From those ranks, rank R3 is the highest. Therefore, rank of first convolutional layer is R3. Likewise, the pink colored circles shows the highest ranks of those convolutional layers. Therefore, the ranks of CNN named A are R3 and R4. This sort of mechanism has been used in BPMF to determine the ranks. Before we move on to the third step of the proposed methodology, let's see what is meant by reconstruction error. This will help in understanding the next slide. Reconstruction error means the distance between original data points and its projection onto a lower dimensional subspace. In the given graph, red points are the original data points and the blue points are the projected points. In their proposed methodology, they have minimized the reconstruction error of linear kernel tensors instead of nonlinear responses. Due to that, after the whole network compression, classification accuracy has dropped hugely. For example, in AlexNet CNN, it has dropped more than 50%. But to recover it to the original accuracy, they have used fine-tuning. For fine-tuning, they have used standard backpropagation. Here, accuracy was recovered using fine-tuning with ImageNet training dataset. And there was a question asking about when can we use fine-tuning in a neural network. So it can be used only when the data set of an existing model and the new deep learning model are similar to each other. From the first epoch, accuracy has recovered quickly, and doing more than 10 epochs, they were able to recover or get to so much closer to the original accuracy. Now let's move on to the graph which shows this. As shown in the graph, they have recovered dropped accuracy by using fine-tuning with ImageNet dataset. It can be observed in this graph that the accuracy is recovered quickly in first epoch. But they had needed more than 10 epochs to recover or to get so much closer to the original accuracy. In doing that, they have set the base learning rate, which is given as eta equals 10 to the power minus 3, and decrease it by a factor of 10 for every 5 epochs. For example, the blue line shows the accuracy recovery of AlexNet CNN. You can see that it has been improved from 23.39 to 78.33. Now let's move on to the experiments and results. For the classifications, they have used 50,000 images from the ImageNet 2012 dataset. The compressed CNN, AlexNet, VGGS, GoogleNet, and VGG16 are used to perform image classification to see how it improves the memory, runtime, and energy consumption. They were tested on NVIDIA Titan X and Samsung Galaxy S6 smartphone. This table gives overall reduction of memory runtime, and energy consumptions of original versus compressed CNN. Here in the table, the star mark represents the compressed CNN and also input data within the network hidden layer, and
Hello. Can anyone hear the presentation? There is something wrong with Dulanjali's audio, I think. Can anyone hear? If there is some network issue, someone else from the group can continue.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I will redo that slide. Thank you, Dulanjali. For classification, they have used around 50,000 images from ImageNet to 2012 dataset. The compressed CNNs, AlexNet, VGGS, GoogleNet, and VGG16 were used to see how it improves the memory runtime energy consumption. They were tested on NVIDIA Titan X and the Samsung Galaxy X. This table gives overall reduction of memory runtime and energy consumption of original versus compressed CNNs. Here in the table, compressed CNNs and weights means the parameters in the neural network that transforms input data within the network hidden layers, and flops means the floating point operations per seconds. Doing a less number of flops will decrease the memory. If we take the accuracy of original AlexNet CNN, its accuracy is 80.03, but the compressed AlexNet accuracy has been reduced to 78.33, but weights have reduced by 5.46, and the flops have reduced by 2.67. In Galaxy S6 runtime has reduced by 3.41, and the reduced by 1.81. Compressing the CNNs has given only a small reduction of classification accuracy, but in other areas it only showed improvements. So let's move into the layer-wise analysis. In this table shows a detailed comparison of results on AlexNet, and each row has two results. The first one is for the original uncompressed CNN, and the second one is for the compressed CNN. As an example, let's consider the second convolution layer. Here the input channel dimension is 48 by 2 and the output channel dimension is 128 by 2. It is compressed to give the Tucker to ranks of 25.25 by 2 and 59 by 2 dimensions. Due to this compression, the amount of weights reduces from 307 kilobyte to 91 kilobytes. After compression, a layer in the compressed network, a layer performs the 3 matrix multiplication. They give the details of 3 matrix multiplication for each of weights, lobes, and runtime. After these steps on Samsung Galaxy S6 smartphone, the second convolution layer time is reduced from 24.25 milliseconds to 10.53 milliseconds. Likewise, they did the layer-wise analysis for other CNNs like VGGS, GoogleNet, and VGG16 as well. So let's move into the observations taken from this analysis. Given a compressed network, the smartphone tends to give larger performance gain than in Titan X because mobile phones GPU lacks in thread level parallelism. Normally, smartphones have 24 times less number of threads than Titan X. Compression reduces the amount of weights, thereby reducing each completion memory latency. Because of having small thread parallelism, the reduced latency has more impact on the performance of threads on the mobile GPU than that on Titan X. Smartphone shows a larger performance gain at fully connected layers than at convolutional layers because of reduced cache completion enabled by network compression as explained above. Utilize on the only one set fully connected layers, the effect of weight reduction can give more significant impact. This is called dead on arrival (DOA) data. DOA data much more harmful than convolutional kernel weights on performance. Thus, weight reduction at the fully connected layers can give more significant impact on cache performance, thereby exhibiting more performance improvement than in the case of weight reduction at convolutional layers. So these are the observations they got from the layer-wise analysis. So let's move into the energy consumption analysis. This figure shows a comparison of power consumption of GPU and main memory on the smartphone for each model. According to this figure, compression reduces the power consumption as well as the runtime. Table and the figure shown previously showed that the reduction in energy. And another observation is the GPU power consumption of compressed CNN is smaller than that of uncompressed CNN. The reason for that is extensive usages of one-by-one convolutions in the compressed CNN. But in terms of cache efficiency, one-by-one convolutions are inferior to the other convolutions like 3x3, 5x5, etc. Since the amount of data reuse is proportional to the total size of convolutional kernel. They apply optimization techniques such as caffeinated convolution in this task. Thus, one-by-one convolution causes to more cache misses than the other larger convolutions. Cache misses on the mobile GPU without sufficient thread level parallelism often occur stall cycles. It makes GPU cost idle, consuming less power, which reduces the power consumption of GPU core during the execution of one-by-one convolutions. However, efficiency and GPU core utilization because of cache cache misses. In the uncompressed network, especially for AlexNet and VGGS, the power consumption of GPU core tends to be stable, but in GoogleNet, the power consumption tends to fluctuate. The reasons for this are GoogleNet consists of and one-by-one convolutions are heavily utilized in this GoogleNet model. And in uncompressed networks, fully connected layers incur more significant amount of power consumption in main memory. And it is because the uncompressed networks, especially AlexNet and VGGS, have large number of weights in polyconnected layers, which incur significant amount of memory accesses. In the compressed networks, the power consumption of GPU core is reduced by one-by-one convolutions and tends to incur more frequently due to the proposed schema reduces the amount of weights at fully connected layers, thereby reducing the power consumption in main memory. So now let's move into the discussion of this research paper. They obtained very promising results with one-shot rank selection, but it is not fully investigated yet whether the selected rank is really optimal or not. The one-by-one convolution is a key operation in the compressed model as well as in inception module of GoogleNet due to it cache. Shown in our experimental results, it lacks in cache efficiency. Whole network compression is challenging due to the large design space and associated long design time. In order to address this problem, they propose a one-shot compression scheme which applies a single general low rank approximation method and a global rank selection method. There, one-shot compression enables fast design and easy implementation with publicly available tools. They evaluated the effectiveness of proposed scheme on the smartphones and Titan X. The experiments show that the proposed scheme gives four CNNs, AlexNet, VGGS, GoogleNet, and the VGG16 average improvements in runtime on the smartphones. So this is the end of our presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.